She fell in the tub. You know what was in the bottom of that tub under her head? Blood. Blood. You know why there was blood? Because her face was hitting the bottom of that tub.
27-year-old Brandon Tyrone Garrett appears to be drowning in sorrow as the detectives describe how they discovered his wife Jesika's lifeless body in the bathtub, all during what was supposed to be a simple, routine welfare check. But beneath that sorrowful performance, he is already constructing a web of lies to conceal the hideous, monstrous truth that no one could have imagined.
She didn't want to live anymore.
Saying she wanted you to kill her?
Will Brandon's act of grief be enough to mislead detectives? Or do the detectives already have substantial evidence and are simply leaning back and letting him put on his show?
You know what crocodile tears are? You sit here and oh, and not a damn tear came out of your face.
April 28, 2019. Jesika Taylor-Sullivan called her sister, Jacqueline, in distress after a violent fight with her husband, Brandon Garrett. She said Brandon had grabbed her by the throat and tried to choke her. Jacqueline urged her to go to the hospital, where Jesika was checked and released. The next day, April 29, 2019, Jesika seemed calmer the next day, until she messaged Jacqueline saying Brandon was in the apartment and armed. When Jesika stopped responding, Jacqueline called the police for a welfare check. Officers found Jesika safe, but terrified. She decided to stay with her mother, Joyce Taylor, to escape Brandon's behavior. Later on, Jesika returned home briefly, planning to leave Brandon for good and file for a restraining order. That night, Brandon told a co-worker he was going home. Hours later, around 3 a.m., he texted Jesika saying he was going to the hospital, then contacted her mother when she didn't reply. On May 1st, 2019, after Joyce couldn't reach her daughter, she called 911 for another welfare check, the second in 3 days. Officers arrived to find signs of forced entry and Jesika's lifeless body in the bathtub. It appeared she had drowned, but evidence at the scene pointed to foul play. A joint investigation between the Alvin Police Department and the Texas Rangers was launched immediately. That evening, Jesika's husband, Brandon Tyrone Garrett, was brought in for questioning by detectives Jay Jackson and Justin Kelly.
So you know what the warrant is for. What you're arrested for, what you're being charged with right now. Yes. Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yes. Please, right here. We do suffer from manic bipolar. We call that depression.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to. Can you have to speak up a little bit? Kind of hard to hear.
I do suffer from manic bipolar depression disorder.
Okay.
And over time, if I don't treat it, I black out sometimes. And things happen that I actually don't, it happens out of nowhere that I'm back to normal. It happens. I'm not excusing it. I accept fault that happened, and it happened on Monday or Sunday. Sorry, it happened on Sunday. My wife told me that I broke that's why I got distressed on my car. I broke my front door, and I choked her. When I came to realize what was going on, I stopped. I let her leave and go to her mom's house. And that's what happened.
The interrogation has only just begun, yet Brandon wastes no time playing the mental health card. His concern for his wife is almost non-existent. He's entirely focused on saving himself. And most importantly, he doesn't recall the incident, but remembers everything else from that night.
That was Sunday morning when all this occurred, or afternoon?
Sunday, it was nighttime. Okay. It was like around, I want to say, actually like 9, 10 p.m.
Okay.
After the hotel was switched.
Okay. And what So after that happened, give me a timeline as far as where you were and what you did.
After that happened, she left and went to her room. I stayed at home for probably like 20 minutes. I could probably 20 minutes. I got my car. I drove to where we used to live, which was on Hill Street behind here, and slowly Hill Apartments. I went over there and I actually laid in my car. I slept there. I had packed everything. And I slept there, but I couldn't stay in the house. So I just remember. So I slept there and I went to work Monday morning.
Where do you work at?
In Green's Point, at IDC Architects, it's the architecture firm. I went to work and I'm distraught. I'm devastated at work. Her and I are in communication. Again, she said, I know this was over, but, and I keep saying, I was like, there's no excuse. I'm still saying, there's no excuse. So she knows I'm not just a bad person. So she knows. And I came home early. I wanted to see her. On Monday? Yes, I want to see her Monday. I just want to see her, and I know she was at home. So I came in the house and I was just like, I want to talk, but I'm not thinking. She's still afraid. She thinks that she's not able to rationalize what's going on. All she remembers is still being upset the day before. So she was sitting in the bed and I was at the door. And she's just like, leave. I was going to talk. That's all. I was talking. I wasn't really doing it. I was going to talk. She just happened to get on the phone with her sister. I think she said her sister had already started calling 911. So anyway, go ahead and call 911. So when she said, I'm on the phone, she looked at the phone, checked it out. I was like, all right, I just want to see. Like, I did, and I left. That's all. I left. So I went to my coworker's house.
You remember about what time that was? Monday?
Yeah, it had to be. It's floating either right before or right after afternoon. Because it wasn't.
So early in the day?
Yeah, it was. I can't remember exactly what time. After I left there, I spoke with my coworker. I went to her house. She knew my issue, my situation.
Brandon left Joy's house and went to Jesika's apartment on April 29, 2019. Brandon is simply trying to create alibis to hide his cold, calculated premeditation toward Jesika. And if that isn't disturbing enough, Brandon is about to reveal even more shocking details.
The last night I talked to my wife, which was Tuesday. She was on the phone. We FaceTimed each other. And she just kept saying, I'm sorry, it's my fault. I provoked you, I did it. Our life is over. That's how she was saying, our life is over. Our life is over, and I'm sorry. It was my fault. And I kept saying, no, it's not your fault. She's like, no, I know it's my fault. I did this to you. And I was like, I kept saying, no, it's not. I was like, I'm going to check myself to the hospital. And she just kept saying, my family's going to disown you, but I don't want to let you go because I love you. And that's all she kept saying. And she was crying like a lot, crying like hard. And I was just like, I'm going to get help. I will, which I was. I was actually a prosecutor today. I got FMLA for my job so I can go to the hospital. I had signed my paper, and I looked at it, the paperwork says 30th. I actually signed the paper today. They were preparing them yesterday for me. They prepared them Monday, which was the 30th. Because, or Tuesday, whichever day 30th, I talked to my boss about it. I can't remember exactly what day.
So you said you talked to her last night. What did you do? Like, so you said you stayed at a co-worker's Monday?
Monday night.
And Tuesday night?
Yes. And when I woke up this morning, I just remember waking up like around early, like 3, and I just felt this cold feeling in my body. And I just text her, are you okay? What's going on? and I got no response. I got no responses. I've been texting her out there, I've been calling her. I know her, so instead of me, I stopped messaging. I stopped calling her.
Of course, Brandon called and texted his wife multiple times, but these are just the alibis he laid out in advance. He is about to dial up the drama even further, shifting gears as he prepares to spill out forced emotions about his wife in an attempt to gain sympathy.
And I said, can you do me a favor? Can you please go check to see if my wife's car is in the apartment home 1502? But she said, okay. And then I think that's when you called me.
Okay. So when was the last time that you were in Alvin?
The last time I was in Alvin was
today.
when y'all, when she called the police when I saw her.
What day was that?
Monday.
Okay. And that's when you went to.
That's when I went to her. I spoke to her, and that's when she said that's what she wanted me to do. I left, and I went to my coworker Joe's house, and then I went to work the next, which is this morning. I went to work this morning, and then I pretty much today, I was riding around really just burning gas because I didn't know how to. I was calling her and I didn't know what was going on, so I was just riding around in different places, just trying to hope and praying that she said something to me. That's all I'm waiting for her to say. Even if she would text me and said I'm fine. That's all I want. She said I'm fine. It's like, okay, I'll have my paperwork ready on the front seat of my car. I had all my phone numbers written down on the report, so I can take it to the mental health facility because we have cell phones, we don't memorize numbers anymore. So I had it ready. I was just waiting, and I was actually by the mental health facility in the regular park. I was waiting here. That's the only reason why I didn't check myself in earlier, because I had all the opportunities. I was like, no, I need to hear from her first, so I want her to know where I'm at. Even though I said it, I want her to physically know where I'm at.
So the last time that you spoke to her on the phone was?
The last time I spoke to her on the phone was today. It was Tuesday.
Brandon is trying his best to prove that he reached out to Jesika on the 30th of April, but failed to connect. However, what he doesn't know is that the detectives can track him by pulling out his phone's location and his car's GPS. Brandon's blind confidence in outsmarting the system is going to cost him dearly.
Okay. And they didn't say, I'm a husband that's concerned about my wife. I'm going to put all my troubles aside and I want to go find out what's going on with my wife. Why are police officers at my apartment all day long? I know you know that we were there because you had spoken to the manager. And I know that you spoke to her several times while we were out there. I'm asking if we were here.
No, I'm saying I didn't speak to her until when I called her. That was my first time calling. When you had called me back, I didn't speak to her. I didn't speak to her all day.
Fair enough.
No, actually, you told us earlier that you did speak to her to go see her car was there.
Yeah, that was like around 4 when I called her. Yeah, that's
so you knew the gossip all day.
No, I didn't know that part. I'm sorry.
So the person that you claim to have been staying with for the last 48 hours since you and your wife got into that fight on Sunday, what would you tell me if I told you that we've already spoken to that person? That person actually reached out to us and basically told us that they're full of it, that you haven't been over there, you haven't been staying with them, that you don't want anything to do with any of this, and that you're lying about that. That wouldn't be true?
No, sir. She didn't say that. I know she didn't say that.
Yeah, she did. So she didn't want to get caught up in this mess.
I'm not saying you haven't spoken to that person. Just clearly you have. But I don't think that person would call us and say, look, I don't know what's going on.
By now, Brandon has picked up on the hint. He has a questionable past, which is not going to help him clear his name easily. If he's hoping to dodge suspicion, he'll need a much more convincing story. Next, he is going to introduce another suspect who can possibly take the blame.
I know it was this guy Roger, she was talking to before she started talking to me. He emailed her. He would email her out of 6, but I sent me one. She showed me. And there's one thing, she was always honest. I think guys tried to get on her more than she's always honest with me. She showed me an email and sent her. And that was pretty much his MO and trying to, get with her and talk to her and get to sleep with her or whatever, get her out to do hey, what's up, I was just thinking about you, remember what you're doing. And she showed it to me. And I'm the one who emailed him back. I don't know for sure if he was pissed about it, but the only thing he said was, sorry, I respect that. And that's it. That's the last time.
Yeah, who was that?
This guy named Roger. Roger Burns.
Where's he from?
He's from I don't know him personally.
Roderick Burns?
Mm-hmm. His name was spelled Roger with a Q, ROGIQ. So it's weird. I don't know that because I saw him actually.
The detective didn't seem convinced by Brandon's story. Later, they also found that Roger was in the clear. He would never harm Jesika because of jealousy. However, Brandon chooses to cling to his denial all the way to the end. After his first round of questioning, he's taken into jail. And spending 24 hours behind bars seems to have shaken something loose, because by the next day, he returns with a brand new story full of lies. But what he doesn't know is that the detectives are going to bring some hard evidence that will tear up his facade.
Trade winds at Willbrook, they have surveillance video. No, they do. The detective Jackson's already contacted them, and they're going to go over and review all that stuff. So that's going to show. You said you registered your car then? That's going to be on their records, all that stuff. We're going to get statements from Joy. We're not going to let her, we don't need to let her work know that we're talking to her.
That's what she's worried about.
But we'll get statements from Joy so she can state the fact that you were with her Monday night, Tuesday night, okay? Because that's what you're saying is correct, right? Because you wouldn't. I don't believe you're the kind of person who would ask Joy to lie for you.
No. But
because
I would ask her to stick up and tell the truth.
Right. And but my point being, if somebody were to ask her to lie for them, it would be a felony that she'd be looking at. And I believe that you like her enough that you wouldn't risk putting her through that, right? Okay. Your Alexa thing works off the Wi-Fi that y'all have with your cable.
No, it's the Alexa. That's my.
No. I'm not. But I'm just saying, Alexa works off of Wi-Fi, and your phone connected with the Wi-Fi Tuesday night. And the only way your phone could have connected to the Wi-Fi of that apartment is you'd had to have been pretty close to it.
No, my phone is.
Hold on. Okay. That's what the records are showing. I haven't looked at them. Detective Jackson has. That's what he told me. So is there an explanation why, if you weren't there, why your phone would have?
Because I have an app on my phone, and what I can do is I can check all the it's called Xfinity Hi-Fi. And that could be possibly why, because I can look and see what's connected to the Wi-Fi from my Wi-Fi, and I hit that app a few times the night before. I always use that.
What do you mean you hit that app?
When you hit the app, I guess it probably connects to my phone wasn't actually connected to the Wi-Fi, it was connected to the app.
Yeah, but no, your phone was connected to the app, to the Wi-Fi.
My phone, my phone has the app is on my phone.
But it's not through the app. It just automatically synced with the app with the Wi-Fi.
Oh no, my phone I wasn't there. I mean, what time would it say that?
I think it was. I don't know. Don't hold me to this. I want to say it was around 10 or after 10 at night. The license plate readers picked your car up coming to Alvin about 9 o'clock. You were at, do you remember?
It was off of 288. I forgot to get the cross.
288. It was at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
I didn't drive my car.
You said nobody else drives your car.
Right. No, but I was.
Okay, hold on a second now. This is technology, okay? I don't understand it, but other people do, and they tell me that this is good, okay? You and I talked earlier. I mentioned that part of getting to your mental health is accepting responsibility. If Zoe were sitting in this room right now, your 5-year-old daughter, if she was sitting in this room right now and she knows what happened, she knows everything that took place this week, what do you think she'd be thinking now listening to you tell me this?
About what part?
About that you weren't on 288, but your phone didn't connect with the Wi-Fi Tuesday night.
Maybe Zoe was here with me. She believed me, but that's the truth.
But what if Zoe knew the truth?
I just drive my car.
Are you saying somebody else drove your car?
No, I didn't drive my car. I didn't come back on Tuesday. I have no reason to try to with this, okay? This is just hard, irrefutable evidence, okay? That your car was on 288 and that your phone synced with the Wi-Fi. That's the tip of the iceberg, because as soon as they pull all these records, there'll be a lot more detail. And you're sitting here telling me, no, none of that happened.
Detective Robert proves that he has done his homework, and he is not buying all the foolish theories that Brandon is inventing randomly. He presents undeniable proof of Brandon's presence in Alvin on the night of April 30th, 2019. Brandon realizes the walls are closing in, with almost no room left to spin more lies. Brandon finally prepares to say what the detectives have been waiting to hear all along, but what he delivers is about to puzzle them more.
If there's things that happened and they didn't happen the way or why, or there's more to the story, then this is an opportunity for you.
I didn't hurt my wife, so I know that that's what it looked like, but I didn't hurt my wife.
When?
I'm talking about.
Did you ever hurt your wife?
Besides Monday.
Okay.
I don't know. But no, I didn't hurt my wife to the fact that she no longer knew me.
What happened Monday? I thought it was to say okay, but I don't know why. And so that's the reason you're here today, because I don't believe God's given me a responsibility to do the right thing. I don't do this job wrongly. I'm always going to do the right thing. And I believe God, part of that is giving you the opportunity to say why we've done it, because there's no doubt what happened. And this is what I want to show you, because I think I can show you this. I think without getting in trouble, without protecting people's privacy, I can show you at least this part. So you know I'm not lying, so you trust. This is your car at 288 and Highway 6 on the 30th, almost at 9 p.m. So you know, right here with this the license plate, right, let it read. I don't know what I'm supposed to be showing you. This is your car, this is your license, and you're here that night at 8:56 and 26 seconds. Just so you know. So what I'm saying is the police have the puzzle of what happened. There's no doubt.
Let's back up the minute. Let's back up the minute where you said you don't know what happened. Look at me, please. Where you said you don't know what happened. Because this is the same thing that you were saying a minute ago when you say you blacked out. You know what happened. You know you didn't black out. Or at the point where you're saying, I don't know what happened. But you do know what happened. And if you're going to be judged by everybody as a monster or somebody with a mental illness, you're the one that's going to have to defend yourself and prove that you're not a monster. So please don't sit here and tell us, I don't know what happened.
And we've shown you respect by not lying to you. Please don't do us the disrespect. Because anyone in the world with common sense can say, he's definitely not telling the truth. I could show anyone this piece of paper and they could say, there's no doubt he's not telling the truth.
I haven't lied to you. He hasn't lied to you.
I don't think he's lying at this point. I think he's. No, I don't. Tell me how far off I am. But I think you know, we know.
It's clear that Brandon was there in Jessica's apartment at around 9 p.m. on April 30th. But Brandon is apparently not ready to admit his wrongdoing. He's gearing up for one last-ditch effort to save himself. But what he is going to deliver is so absurd that it's about to turn him into a complete joke in front of the detectives.
Was this on purpose or was it accidental? Just give me that much. Was it on purpose or accidental?
You're right.
Brandon, was it on purpose or accidental?
She told me.
I can't hear you.
She told you to.
Who told you to? Brandon, look at me for a second. Brandon, look at me. Brandon, tell me, answer this. Was it on purpose or accidental? Was it on purpose or accidental?
She said she didn't want you anymore?
Yeah, she didn't want to live anymore.
She didn't want to live anymore.
You saying she wanted you to kill her?
You said her family disowned her?
Was her family.
Was it intentional or was it accidental?
It was accidental.
So how did it happen accidentally?
I guess she was from the entry prior on Monday or Sunday night, excuse me. Sunday night, it was.
She pressed her neck against your hands on Tuesday. Tell me what happened then. Let's go back to when you walked in the door. Tell me what happened.
I walked in the door. And she was crying.
You walked in the door and what? I couldn't hear you, sir.
She was crying.
Please sit up. So
she was crying? Yeah, okay. And then what happened?
Crying, and she kept saying repeatedly she didn't want to live anymore.
She was saying she didn't want to live anymore?
She kept saying her family disowned her. Was going to disown her. She took me back and she said she loved me. And she I've done everything for her.
So what happened?
She was sick. I was restroom. Still standing in this room, but I was sitting beside the bed, on my side of the bed, talking to her. And my side of the bed is the side with the big nightstand on up behind here. If you're looking at the bed, the left side of the bed on my side.
Yeah.
And I was sitting on that side and we were talking. And she was saying she don't want to lose me. She just doesn't want to live anymore. And I was like, what do you mean you don't want to live anymore? She walked over, picked my hand up, and walked me to where the restroom. And it was already water in the bathtub. And I was like, I'm thinking she would take it out. She was like, no.
You were thinking what?
It was water in the bathtub, so I was like thinking, she doesn't take a bath. That was weird. She takes showers. I feel like that was weird already. So, I was like, well, what's wrong? And she looked in the mirror and I stood looking at her face. She was crying. Like, I've never seen her cry so hard and so much. She put her in my hand on her neck. And she said, I don't live in it. And she started squeezing. And she was saying,
She started squeezing what?
She started squeezing my hand. Like, at first they were just sitting there like that. And she said, do it. And she said, that's what she started because I can't live anymore.
How long did you squeeze her neck?
Not long at all.
What would be your guess?
Probably not even a minute.
So what happened?
Well, she kind of like fainted and fell in the tub.
And then what happened?
And then I don't have to, like she didn't move, like she was already gone. It really wasn't even that long.
So then what happened?
I do that to the point that she told me to do it. I didn't get to it when I had to. I didn't do it long enough for it to happen. I don't think I did.
You want a glass of water or something?
Can you do me a favor? Can you show me on this box how hard you squeezed your neck? Just squeeze it. I don't care if you crush the box. I don't care if you crush it. Show me how hard you squeeze it.
Probably like that much.
That's that. You can crush that box as much as you want. I don't care.
Probably like this. I felt that I think she already had a bruise from when I first did it, and I think
Sunday.
I think I hit that bruise or whatever. I did something because I felt like it was real low. Like
Was it just like that? Is that how you're doing it?
Yeah.
Is that as hard as you squeeze?
Before I get to glass of water.
I'm gonna get me a glass of water, Tim. You don't want a glass? You want a glass? I'm gonna get me a jug of water. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'll get it.
So, Jesika asked Brandon to kill her, even if he was desperate to dodge the murder charges. This outrageous lie only buried him deeper, making him look even more suspicious. Brandon truly believed he was unleashing a shocking Plan B that could flip the entire case on its head. But the detectives are about to give him a reality check, showing him just how delusional and damaging that twisted idea really is.
The woman that I love, the one woman that's brought my children in this world, and she fell head first into the bathtub. As soon as I got her out of that tub and started CPR, I'd be dialing that phone, calling 911. Get me an ambulance over here. Somebody help me. Somebody call 911. She cannot die. I cannot let her die. But you did. You let her fall in that tub. You held her head down underwater until she drowned and suffocated. And then you snuck out of the house so the girls wouldn't know you were there.
That's not what.
The problem is, people know you were there.
And the neighbors did hear the altercation. You tell me there was nothing there. I'm not saying it was loud. I'm not saying you had this huge, 2 hour long fight. I'm just saying they heard something. I can't go into what because that would be a violation of privacy. But I know what some of the things you told us. Some of them are the truth, but some of them are not. I mean, like I said, man, the police can put together what happened. It's just the why, and that's the reason we give you that opportunity to say this is why. Like Detective Taylor said, monster or somebody that has some mental health issues. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna go so far as to say that you are a monster. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because you choked that girl out, shoved her head into that bathtub until she drowned. Then you politely and quietly grabbed your and you fled the scene. And then you sit here and cry crocodile tears about doing it. Because she told you to do it. Not only did she tell you to do it, she made you do it. She grabbed those big 6 foot, whatever you are, 300 and whatever pounds you are, and pressed your hands around her throat until she suffocated, until she strangled to death, and fell in that tub and drowned. You know what crocodile tears are? That's like the absence of tears. Grief, you can't fake it. You sit here and cry, and not a tear came out of your face. You can't even be honest right now in this room and accept responsibility for what you did. You're going to sit there and lie bald-faced to 2 men that have a combined time in law enforcement of 62 years and try to convince us this little girl choked herself out with your hands and then fell in that bathtub and drowned.
I didn't say she choked herself out.
Huh?
I didn't say she choked herself out. I didn't think she did.
You're saying she pressed her hands in and then she just blacked out. She fainted and she fell in the tub.
But
she fell in the tub. You know what was in the bottom of that tub under her head? Blood. Blood. You know why there was blood? Because her face was hitting the bottom of that tub. Yeah.
No.
That's evidence, dude. I got pictures of that. Yeah.
That's not what
You might not be aware of it. That is what happened.
That's not what happened, sir.
Dude, don't sit here and tell me she fainted and fell in that bathtub
That's not what happened.
and drowned.
That's not what happened, sir.
Then tell me what happened.
I told
Because
you,
it ain't what you told me a minute ago.
that's what happened.
That's not what happened. That's
I
not what happened. Just stop. Just stop. Brandon, you know that's not what happened. And you know you have not convinced us.
The autopsy report indicates that Jesika drowned in her bathtub, and drowning is ruled the primary cause of death. Clear signs of choking are present. Unfortunately, the report cannot distinguish which injuries stem from the April 28th incident and which occur on the night of April 30th, the night she dies. What is proven, however, is that her death is not natural, and the only person with Jesika when she drowns is Brandon. Now, he is about to snap, and the truth is about to come out.
You know what? I'm going to cut Detective White out because he's a nice guy. He wants to give you the benefit of the doubt. But I am beyond that at this point. You're a cold-blooded killer. You choked that girl out, held her head underwater until she drowned and strangled, and then you left the house real quietly. You were so concerned about your own that you couldn't even call 911, that you couldn't try to resuscitate her, that you couldn't pull her head out of the water? No, because you know once her head went in that water, she was dead. Because you held it under there until she stopped moving.
I got angry at the same time.
And what happened? Talk us through it.
I choked her as I was choking her. My arms with my hands. My arms were running out like this. And I couldn't tell you how long it was. It might have been a minute, but it could have been long because it was just a cloudy moment. And when her knees buckled, I just turned her around because she dropped like her body weight just dropped, and I turned her around. Excuse me. And she fell in the tub, face down in the tub. But I didn't bang her head. I didn't do none of that. If the banging happened, it may have been because she hit her face on the tub as she fell in.
So when he knew, I'm just making sure I'm getting it correct what you're saying. So when you're choking her, when she went limp, you turned her around. Then when you turned her around, you just kind of throw her to the tub in anger?
No, it wasn't anger. I let her fall because we backed up. Like we were standing.
Oh, wait, now your story's changing.
No.
And before, when you said you were here, if you let her fall, she's not going to fall way over there in that tub. So it's changing a little bit. Sure. Yeah.
I was standing here. We started here, and when we were backing up towards it like this here.
While you're choking her, she's backing up.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to tell you. We started here, and we backed up, and we were like, this is the toilet right here. And it's a tub. And when she knees buckled, like as she falling, I turned her around.
Why did you turn her around?
Because I didn't want her to, I was still thinking I didn't want her to hit her head on the back, or she would have fell back.
Why are you thinking that when you're trying to kill her? Whether she wanted it or whether you wanted it, you're trying to kill her. Would you agree? Yes. So why would you be concerned about her hitting her head when you're trying to kill her?
Why would you be concerned with her hitting the back of the head, then drop her face first into the bathtub?
I'll tell you, and let me just say, just common sense. And tell me if I'm wrong. Is you're concerned so it didn't look like somebody murdered her?
In the end, Brandon admitted to strangling Jesika to her death, but Jesika is not his first victim. On August 16, 2007, Brandon choked Michelle, his ex-wife, in the bathroom by the tub. He choked her 3 times in 5 months, to the point where she passed out. Brandon and Michelle reportedly got divorced in 2017. As for Jesika, the truth remains buried. Was her murder planned long before that night, or born from Brandon's collapsing mind? Brandon Tyrone Garrett was convicted of first-degree murder in Jesika Taylor-Sullivan's death on January 14, 2022, in the 412th District Court of Brazoria County, Texas. He was sentenced to life in prison, with the jury reaching a verdict in just under an hour. As per Texas law, he also received a $10,000 fine.